Good morning to you. Today we are taking up continuation of parliamentary procedure. Today we will deal with the question how the bill becomes an act. How the bill becomes an act. The procedure adopted in parliament. What is a bill? Bill is nothing but a draft of a legislative proposal. It is a legislative proposal which is placed before the House for discussion and passing. Who makes the bill? The department. At the level of joint secretary and above, they draft the bill, take the approval of the cabinet, circulate the bill, take the comments of the various ministries, and then take the approval of the cabinet. Then they give it to the concerned House. Depending upon the convenience of the House and depending upon the special conditions attached to the bill. If it is a money bill, only Lok Sabha. If it is a financial bill, only Lok Sabha. If it is other than money bill, constitutional bill or ordinary bill, in either house. Subject to this condition, the bill is proposed. Before a bill becoming an act in the parliament, there are three important stages. After completion of the three important stages and after having been passed by both the houses of parliament, the bill is presented to president and president gives the assent and the bill becomes an act and the act is notified by the government and it becomes the law. So, bill, act, law. This is the procedure. Now, any bill which is initiated by the minister is called government bill, also called official bill. Similarly, any bill which is initiated by a private member. Who is a private member? I have already told you. Any member other than the minister is a private member, irrespective of the whether he belongs to the ruling party, whether he belongs to the opposition, it does not matter. So long he is not a minister, he is a private member. So any bill initiated by a private member is called non-money bill, non-official bill or private member bill. This is the category. Now, all the bills are categorized or grouped in 5 branches, 5 categories. What are those? Number 1, ordinary bill. Number 2, constitutional amendment bill. Number 3, money bill. Number 4, financial bill. And in this, I have already told you category 1 and category 2. That is category A or category B. Then comes other bills where the procedure for passing is slightly different. For instance, change of the name of the state, changing the territory of the state, creation of a state, abolition of the state, reorganization of the state. All these things come under Article 3 and 4. This is the different procedure. Why it is a different procedure? They amend the constitution, they amend the Schedule 4 and Schedule 1. In spite of it, these amendments are not to be treated as amendments for the purpose of Article 368. So, this is a different procedure. So, these are all the 5 groups of various categories of bills. Now, the process of passage of the bill in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha undergoes 3 important stages. What are those 3 important stages? First reading, second reading, third reading. Remember, this is the legacy of British. We have taken from the British Parliament. In the British Parliament, all the bills undergo the 3 stages, that is first reading, second reading, third reading. Now, what is first reading? The legislative process starts in this stage. That is introduction of a bill in either house of parliament, either Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. Of course, you know certain bills like money bill or finance bill, etc. can be introduced only in Lok Sabha. Other kinds of bill, including constitutional amendment bill, etc., can be initiated in either house of parliament. Now, a bill can be introduced either by the minister in which it is called official bill, or by a private member, in which case it is called private member bill or non-official bill. Now, remember, at the time of introduction of a bill, the member in charge should first ask for the permission of the House. In the Parliament parlance, it is called leave of the House. So, he will seek leave of the House to introduce the bill. Of course, it should have been included in the list of business with the approval of the Speaker, with the approval of the Business Advisory Committee. Then at the time allotted for that particular business, the member in charge of the bill, that is either the minister or a private member, will seek the permission of the House to introduce a bill. So he will take the permission. He will say, I beg to introduce the bill. The moment it is the bill is introduced, remember, normally there will not be any discussion. Normally it will be allowed to be introduced, because including private member bills, it will be allowed to be introduced. Supposing if the introduction itself is opposed by any member, the member who opposed the bill will be allowed to make a statement, and the member in charge of the bill, that is the minister, will give a reply. Supposing, again, it is a supposition. Suppose the introduction is opposed on the ground of competence of Parliament. Suppose, let us say, that particular bill deals with the subject on which Parliament has no control. That is, the subject does not fall within the legislative powers of the Parliament. In that case, if the member opposes on the competence of Parliament, then the Speaker may allow a full-fledged discussion. Only in that case. After discussion, the bill will be put to vote. Remember, after discussion, the bill will be put to vote. Once it is voted, it is allowed to be introduced. Number one. Suppose in many of the official bills, normally the Speaker will allow this to be introduced and it will be published in the Gazette. And in some stages, it will be published in the Gazette even before introduction. And once it is introduced, the first reading ends here. Now remember, it has become the property of the House. Now, in the second stage, the second reading consists of two stages. Remember, what is that stage? It will be referred to the standing committee. That is, I have already told you, the departmentally related parliamentary standing committee. Each committee has 3 to 4 departments. I have already told you that committee, this bill will be referred by the presiding officer. Okay. Now the bill has gone to the standing committee. Standing committee will examine the bill, and the standing committee will invite oral evidence, experts' opinion, pressure groups, and it will be examined not only by the members of the standing committee. Other experts will also be asked to look into the bill and take their opinion. And all the public, any trade unions, any person who has a stake in the bill can give their opinion, and all these things will be taken into account, and the standing committee will prepare a recommendation. That is, what is the present proviso and what is the recommendation, what is the proposed proviso. For each class, the standing committee will give its recommendation. Once these recommendations have been collected, and a report will be prepared, and that report will be sent to the concerned House along with the copy to the concerned minister. So now the report of the standing committee has come back. Now again, it will be on the allotted date, it will be the committee report, and it will be introduced. It will be that the House will take up the report of the standing committee. At this stage, if the members insist, the bill can be referred again to the select committee. What is select committee? Select committee is an exclusive committee of the House. or joint committee. Joint committee means the committee comprises of members of Lok Sabha as well as members of Rajya Sabha. Select committee means the committee exclusively by Rajya Sabha or exclusively for Lok Sabha. So again, you cannot say that the standing committee has already examined, so select committee need. No, it is the prerogative of the House. The House can, even though it has already been examined, scrutinized thoroughly by the the standing committee, it is the prerogative of the House to refer this for another committee for examination. Again, this will be examined and class by class discussion will take place in the select committee, and they will sponsor the amendments also, and consolidated report will be sent to again to the House. Now, after receipt of the recommendations of the select committee in the House, that is in the Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, then the discussion will start. Class by class discussion will start. Every class discussion will be there, and the amendments will be moved for each class. And after discussion of the amendments, each amendment, if the mover of the amendment does not withdraw the amendment, then it will be put to vote after discussion. Then supposing that amendment has been incorporated, that amendment will be incorporated in the bill under discussion, and the entire including that amended clause will be voted. So that amended clause will become the part of the bill. Like that, all the clauses will be discussed, and after clauses are discussed, enacting formula and clauses and table of contents and title of the bill, everything will be voted. This is after voting this, the second stage, that is second reading, ends here. Now remember, class by class discussion is over. Every class amendments have been voted, all the enacting formula voted, table of contents voted, and what is called the title of the bill voted. All these things voted now, and the second stage, second reading ends here. Now it is the third reading. Third reading, another day will be fixed, and the bill will be proposed for. Remember, up to second reading end, that is called consideration of the bill. Now, third reading is purely passing of the bill. So, at that stage, remember, no amendment will be carried out. Only, cosmetic changes, where there is a consequential changes, verbal changes will be undertaken. No discussion, detailed discussion will not take place. Now, on the policy principles, it will be there. On the substance of the bill, nothing will be amended. Then, after the discussion, the minister will move that the bill be passed. Once that is moved, the entire bill in toto will be put to vote. Depending upon that, on the voting pattern, the bill will be treated as passed or treated as failed. So, if it is passed, the presiding officer, if it is in Lok Sabha, speaker will write as passed by Lok Sabha, and he or she, the speaker, will sign, send it to the other house. So, it is passed by one house, it has been sent to the other house. Now, the other house will also follow the same procedure. Remember, simply because Lok Sabha has approved, that does not prevent the Rajya Sabha to refer this bill again to another committee. Absolutely freedom. Both the houses are independent. One cannot have cannot say that other house has changed, so I cannot do it. It is both the houses are independent in their own sphere, subjective. Money bill, of course, financial bill, finance bill, etc. The Lok Sabha enjoys more powers. So now the bill has come. Suppose let us say it is a money bill. It has come to the Rajya Sabha. I have already told you, Rajya Sabha is a fifth wheel in the coach. As far as money bill is concerned, Rajya Sabha has no role at all. Rajya Sabha cannot pass, cannot reject a money bill. Maximum, they can recommend. So, along with the recommendation, that money bill will be returned to Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha has two options. Either the recommendation made by the Rajya Sabha can be accepted, in which case the bill is deemed to have been passed by both the houses, signed and sent it to the president. Alternatively, the Lok Sabha may reject the amendment proposed by Rajya Sabha, in which case also it is deemed to have been passed by both the houses, presented to president. Now, as far as the ordinary bills are concerned, that is non-money bill, and constitutional bill, it is totally different. And the constitutional bill and non-money bill, in both the cases, Rajya Sabha enjoys equal powers. Remember, non-money bill and the non-constitutional amendment bill, the Rajya Sabha enjoys equal power. Similarly, constitutional amendment bill, that we will see under when we take up Article 368. So now ordinary bill, let us say, second stage, ordinary bill. If an ordinary bill has been passed by one house, it is referred to the other house. The other house will actually, it has got many options. Let us say it has come to Rajya Sabha. The Rajya Sabha has many options. Number one, it can pass the bill as it was, in which case they will record as passed by both the houses of parliament, presented to president. Number one. Number two, the Rajya Sabha can make some amendment in the bill, in which case the amendment and the original will be returned to Lok Sabha, and Lok Sabha will agree. If Lok Sabha agrees to the amendment, then the Lok Sabha speaker will write as passed by both the houses and send it to the president. Now, Lok Sabha does not agree to the amendment proposed by Rajya Sabha, one category. Second category, Rajya Sabha rejected the bill, second category. Third category, Rajya Sabha does not take any action, third category. Now, first category, the amendment proposed by one house, rejected by the other house, first category. Second category, the other house has rejected the bill, second category. Third category, the other house has not taken any action at all. These three categories. Not taken any action at all. How do you define? If it does not take any action for 6 months. Remember, 6 months, if the other house does not take any action. When you calculate the 6 months, the period of prorogation and the adjournment time of more than 4 days, 4 days should be excluded. So after excluding this, if the period is more than 6 months, then it is the third category. So number one, any amendment proposed by the other house has been rejected by the house of origin. Number two, the other house has rejected the bill. Third, the other house has not taken action for 6 months. These three categories, there is a separate provision of a joint sitting of both the houses to resolve the dispute between Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha over a non-money bill. So, this is under Article 108 of the Constitution. Under 108 of the Constitution, joint sitting will be convened. Who will convene the joint sitting? President of India. Under whose advice? The Council of Ministers' advice. The Council of Ministers' advice will be taken. The Council of Ministers will advise the President to convene a joint sitting to resolve the dispute between Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha over a non-money bill. Remember, over a non-money bill. In which category? The three categories I have already told you. Three categories. Number one, where the other house has made amendments and it was rejected by the house of origin, or the other house rejected it. Third, the other house did not take any action for 6 months. In all the three cases, joint sitting will be arranged by the President to resolve the dispute between Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Then in the joint sitting, who will preside over the joint sitting? Speaker. If the Speaker is not there, Deputy Speaker. If the Deputy Speaker is not there, Deputy Chairman. If the Deputy Chairman is not there, the member who has been determined by the members present in the joint sitting. So they will decide who will preside over the sitting. And what is the quorum? 1/10 of the total membership of both the houses, because it is a joint sitting. So both the houses 1/10, and no amendment is proposed. Nothing. It is only a discussion on the merits or demerits of the bill, and straight away it will be put to vote. If it is passed in that joint sitting, it is deemed to have been passed by both the houses of parliament and presented to President for his assent. Remember, so far, three sittings have been held. Remember, three joint sittings have been held. On 6th May 1961, Dowry Prohibition Bill 1960. Lok Sabha did not agree to the amendment made by Rajya Sabha. This is number one. The will of the Lok Sabha prevailed. Secondly, Banking Service Commission Repeal Bill 1977. This joint sitting was held on 16th May 1978. This bill was rejected by Lok Sabha. In the joint sitting, it was passed. Again, the will of Lok Sabha prevailed. Number three, Prevention of Terrorist Act Bill, that is POTO, that is 2002, Mr. Advani Saab, and Lok Sabha passed the bill, Rajya Sabha rejected the bill. So the joint sitting was held on 26th March 2002. Again, the will of Lok Sabha prevailed. So these are all the three joint sittings. After having been passed by both the houses of Parliament, either independently or through joint sitting, it will be presented to President. As I have already told you, President can exercise absolute veto, and he can give assent, in which case the bill becomes an act. He can exercise the suspense veto, refer the bill again to the Parliament, and the Parliament, if it passes again, then it will be presented to President, whereupon it is incumbent on the President to give the assent. And fourth one is the pocket veto, which is not a recognized veto in the Constitution. And once the bill is passed and by both the houses presented to President giving assent, the bill becomes an act. This is the procedure how a bill becomes an act. And remember, this is only for non-money bill. Constitutional amendment bill, separate procedure, and there is no provision for joint sitting. If it's, for instance, in Panchayat Raj Bill in 1984, I think it is 1984 Rajiv Gandhi period, Panchayat Amendment Bill, Panchayat Raj Bill was defeated by 4 votes in Rajya Sabha. Similarly, the abolition of privy purses was, that amendment bill was defeated by 1 vote. So, 4 votes in Rajya Sabha, Rajiv Gandhi period, the Panchayat Raj Constitutional Amendment Bill was defeated. I think it is in 1989. And once it is defeated, Rajiv Gandhi resigned. So, the Constitutional Amendment Bill, there is no provision for joint sitting. Kindly be clear, the joint sitting is permissible only for non-money bill and non-constitutional amendment bill. As far as money bill is concerned, no question of joint sitting. It is always Rajya Sabha has no powers at all as far as money bill is concerned. So this is the provision relating to how a bill becomes an act. We will continue with the parliamentary procedure in the next class. Thank you.